All right, next up, we've got Washington and Indiana. How about these Hoosiers, man? They just absolutely destroyed Nebraska last weekend, laid waste to them. I mean, and they lost Curtis Rourke to injury midway through that game. And they still rolled that Nebraska Cornhuskers team. I can't say enough about how impressed I am. I mean, this team, Kurt Signetti, man, they need to build a statue, I think, already for him outside of Bloomington there with what he has done with this program. Still undefeated, 7-0 straight up, 6-1 against the spread. And now they welcome Washington into town. Indiana 7-point home favorites, 53 being the total here in this game. Obviously, I felt sick watching Curtis Rourke get injured because he's had such a great season. He is definitely the straw that has stirred the drink of why Indiana's had this resurgent bounce back, comeback season. And now, of course, he's got this injury that's going to keep him out, I think, for at least a few games. But I'll say this, Taven Jackson comes in for Indiana in that game against Nebraska, goes 7 for 8, 87% completions, 91 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns. He looked fine. Now, I do think he's not quite as good. He can't be as good as Curtis Rourke because Curtis Rourke's been amazing. But I don't know, Connor. To me, Taven Jackson looked like a guy that could still go out there and win games for you at the quarterback spot. He looked solid, and that's coaching. That's why Signetti's a great coach. He had coached up this backup to be ready for when the opportunity came, if an injury struck to Rourke, and look at the way he played against Nebraska there last week when he stepped into the game. So people might say because Rourke's out, maybe this is the week Indiana, shits the bed or loses their first game or is in tough. I still don't trust Washington fully to go on the road for an early start game like this. I think it is an early game on noon Eastern on Saturday to get the job done. I like Rodgers, but like I said, I don't know if this is the best fit schematically, this offense for him. The defense has been, look, that Rutgers loss is aging poorly for Washington when they went on the road to for a game in the East and they lost to Rutgers. That game looks terrible now with what we've seen out of Rutgers the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Look, I've been on Indiana every week, and every week they keep cashing for me. I'm on them again. And I know there's no Rourke, but Taven Jackson looked good enough, competent enough at the quarterback spot, and I just flat out don't trust Washington, and I trust Signetti and what he's done with this team. So it's Indiana or pass for me, C-Mac.
I get it. I mean, Jackson, didn't skip a beat. I mean, what was he, like 7 of 8, 7 of 9, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns?
Pass, yeah.
Yeah.
He was fine.
He was fine. Dude, this Indiana team, if you take it, like you're saying, you just keep riding him. One other thing, and if you think maybe 7's a little bit rich, unless there's mistakes by him, but I don't think this is the game. Look at their team total or just go over because they've gotten it almost by themselves. The over. So Indiana team total here. I don't think this Washington defense is great, and they've got they got here, then they're at versus SC, then at Penn State. They could be 4-6. In this one, Rodgers is all right. They are off the bye for Washington, which is solid. But man, that was a tough game to see Iowa just beat them up in the trenches. And that loss 40-16. So maybe they play better. I just can't buy on Washington here this week.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think it's don't be careful with this rhetoric you're going to hear. Oh, no Curtis Rourke. Maybe Indiana's in trouble. I'm not so sure they are personally.
Not here.
I think we're that good.
Let's see down the line.
Yeah,
big coming up. But I think even in this spot with Jackson, this is one more. Roll it. Keep rolling.
This is a 9 a.m. Pacific start for a team from the Pacific time zone from the West Coast, Washington. That's pretty tough.